Yeah. Hey, Simil.
Yeah.
Do you feel targeted?
I feel targeted right now because you're pointing a freaking camera at me like on the side of a highway with trucks whipping by.
I'm feeling targeted by all the trucks that are trying to run us over.
Yeah.
So, our topic now is not a very pleasant or comfortable one, but it's something that is very, very apparent recently here in China.
It kind of seems like they turned the faucet on this this whole anti-foreigner thing right now, and I hope we're not being tinfoil hat about it, but let's be honest, there's been a lot of evidence.
Oh yeah. Also, I think my GoPro's been facing the wrong way the whole time, facing down. It's okay. Anyway, yes, I've recently personally had some experiences which we're going to bring up in this little chat, but there have been a couple of things happening just in the last couple of weeks that I think it's important to talk about. Yeah. So let's hit the road and talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay, Simil, before we get on to what's actually been happening around the country, let me talk about what happened to me, like a week ago, I'd say, maybe a bit more than a week.
Okay.
I got targeted by a campaign, and a campaign of online netizens, Chinese netizens,
okay,
to try and get me deported.
Yeah. It's not over yet.
It's not over yet. Yeah, it's still going. It's ongoing. Man, this seems to happen all the time. And you know what? It's always that Our Chinese Girls Easy video. It's always that one. They've got this thing here in China. They call them little pinks, right?
Okay.
And they're basically, you know, Shao Feng Hong or whatever. They're basically very young nationalist women, ultra-nationalist women, and they are like a massive mouthpiece for the Chinese netizens.
Okay.
And if they get slighted, and I'll tell you what, man, anyone who's ever slighted a woman before in their life knows it's the biggest mistake of your life.
Right.
You know, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned.
Of course.
That's been around for a couple hundred years for a reason.
Yeah, nothing's changed.
Nope. Anyway, so once again, you had one of these little pinks watched my Our Chinese Girls Easy video, but like again, I think it's the old one. And went on this thing called MIT BBS.
Yeah.
Which is like an online forum for scumbags, really, in China.
Well.
And, nice people too, but they've got sub-forums. It's kind of like Reddit, isn't it?
It's like Reddit. Chinese Reddit.
Yeah, Chinese Reddit. And she went onto the military forum, okay, where people discuss military stuff.
Right.
And basically wrote this post saying, this foreigner, by the way, your indicator's on.
Thank you. Shit.
Been a while.
Legacy.
So she wrote this thing about this foreigner is slandering China. All of his videos are saying bad things about China. He's a bad, evil foreigner. And let's get him kicked out of China. Let's basically all report. She basically said in more or less these words, report him to whichever government people that you know. Like, if you've got any connections in the government, any old friends in the government or the police, report him. Let's get him deported. Okay, it's kind of worrying.
Yeah.
And then you've got a slew of people who were commenting on this topic, saying, okay, I phoned the Public Security Bureau in Shenzhen and told them that he is doing these videos online and that he must be deported.
Yeah.
And then there's like one guy in particular left a comment saying, I phoned them, the Public Security Bureau, and told them that he's posting secret military locations on Facebook, and reported him as a spy.
Let me clarify. Basically what happened in this forum is that they weren't getting anywhere with the whole reporting you to certain departments.
Yeah.
Because when I was reading through it, some of the people were like, well, they said that they can't do anything, right? So they basically had to resort to the most ridiculous one.
Yeah.
Or the one that they would get, you know, the most response from, which was the military, like, espionage shit, right?
Yeah, saying that I'm posting secret military locations on Facebook. First of all, why Facebook? Is Facebook the CIA? You know, what am I going to say? Check it out. Look what I'm doing right now. Checked in at a military base having a latte. I don't think so. Anyway, it's very worrying because, you know, obviously this can really screw up my life.
Yeah. Shut up.
Yeah, I must also point out at this point that there are plenty of people on the forum are actually defending me as well.
Of course, and
saying,
cheers to you guys.
You know, they're saying, yeah, thank you to you guys who actually, you know, went up. There's one person in particular who was saying, like, you're overreacting. Have you ever watched his videos? Do you actually understand what he's saying? He's not doing that. He's got plenty of positive ones, you know?
This knee-jerk response that came out of this is actually the product of why we said, and not to like keep repeating this, but you guys ask, or our Chinese friends ask, why we don't post on Chinese media.
Yes. This is why.
The whole reason that this happened was because of, you know, the mistranslated videos that they saw in Bilibili. That's what started this entire thing. And again, guys, that's why we don't do it, is because people that don't understand, you know, like we said, we went down in the comments section and people were like, I don't understand this, thumbs up my comment, but, you know, fuck these guys, basically.
Yeah, exactly. So you can't win. And I'm just not willing to basically expose myself to all that hate. But either way, it's come to my doorstep again.
Right.
And it's pretty serious, but this is part of an ongoing anti-foreign kind of campaign that's going on in China. Now listen guys, I'm not going to lie that this is serious, okay? We've got this upcoming documentary, and in fact this video that we're recording now will only be released when we're on the documentary.
For sure.
But I have actually, because of this threat, move over to the right, man, all the way. Because of this threat, these people going and trying to report me to every which department they can, I am not going to be, I was supposed to go to Hong Kong, right, to go buy some gear for the trip. I'm not going, because I don't know what's going to happen if I try across the border. You know?
More often than not, just to clarify, more often than not, what happens if somebody, if China gets cold feet about this, like a foreigner being in the country, more often than not, they won't get deported because it's, you know, it's a legal proceeding. But what they can do very easily is just not let you back in.
Yeah, they can deny your entry.
They can deny it for any reason. So if they get abreast of the situation right now, it's really bad, because then you won't be able to come on the TV show.
Yes.
Everything will be screwed over. So that's why this is kind of like a special treat that you guys are. We're recording this when we're kind of under fire right now.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty bad. I can't take a risk of leaving China until the documentary's done. Right. Then I'll take the risk and we'll find out what happens, really, if they manage to successfully basically get me deported or not, because that's going to be the real test.
Now the whole thing is like, thanks truck, appreciate that. The whole thing is that your situation right now is not isolated. It actually seems like a span of things happening. Some of my friends have recently lost their jobs and not had their visas renewed, and the biggest news right now is that they've targeted Sanlitun, which is Beijing's bar area, and shut down the entire thing. And
they demolished it. They
demolished it. And this is a staple for foreigners living in China, expats, right?
Let's explain what it is. It was basically like a bar street. So, you know, foreigners, that's what they do. They hang out in bars, right? You know, that's their entertainment. At least a huge majority of foreigners, they like to go hang out and drink and talk.
Chinese people as well.
Let's slow down a bit. So they demolished that, but that's not the biggest news. What was it, 3 days ago, they targeted all these foreign bars in China, right? In Beijing, sorry. And they actually did a 10 p.m. raid where they bust into a bunch of bars and restaurants where foreigners are known to hang out, and they had forced urine tests. Made everybody take a urine test, checked everybody's passports and papers, and they're 100% targeting foreigners, because they didn't try to do that at like Chinese bars or anything like that. So they're trying to find excuses to clamp down on foreigners, basically.
At least that's what we've come to. I mean, just recently it's just been kind of a negative. There's a negative air.
Let's not play around. And I've been in situations like this.
We're supposed to go here.
This is where, okay, we'll do a U-turn up ahead.
Here you go.
You know, you're in the situation where you get the boiled frog. I've said this before, but the boiled frog syndrome. You know, like if you stick a frog in water, right? And then you slowly start to cook it, but like very, very slowly. By the time the frog is cooked, it doesn't realize that it's been cooked, right? But if you throw a frog into boiling hot water, it knows straight away it's being cooked.
Of course.
So what we've got here is we've got
the boiled frogs.
We've got the boiling frog, and you see these little things happening around you all the time, and then you adjust to them. You're like, oh, they're clamping down on foreigners.
Not a big deal. Oh,
they're raiding bars. Okay, that's all right.
They're taking motorcycles. Oh, they're like anything in China.
They're offering rewards for foreign spies.
Right.
You know, come on. All this stuff that's been happening lately, Yeah, like, oh, foreigners can no longer use Amazon, you know, without a Chinese ID card. Oh,
Yeah.
Foreigners can't get train tickets without it. You know, there's always these little things that they're implementing slowly.
Can't live stream.
Yeah, foreigners can't live stream anymore, but of course Chinese people can.
Right.
You know, so all these little things happening slowly, and you start to boil, and then
The water feels hot right now.
yeah, by the time you're cooked, it's too late.
Right.
But I've been in that situation in South Africa growing up, a
Okay.
similar kind of thing, and I
Right.
see it for what it is, and we're in a very, very shit situation at the moment.
Absolutely, and again, we are trying so hard to make positive videos, but we feel like it's our moral obligation to let you know what's happening to us right now. And when you see, and I guarantee most of you have never gone through this, but when you see thousands of people talking about your name and
Yes.
telling, like in your case, reporting you as a spy, trying to get you deported in the place that you lived for 11 years,
Yeah.
or, you know, sending messages to my wife in Chinese saying that they're going to find out where we live so they can come screw us over. Like, it's getting bad. It's
Yes.
getting really terrible.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like it's awful. It's just, you know, you're being the target of all this hate, and it's like mob justice, and you know, foreigners are the target.
Right.
It's always been that way, you know. If you look at what happened before years ago, it was very similar. It's like, let's not look at our own problems and try and fix them. Let's blame the foreigners, and let's, you know,
It's
kick
Chinese
them
history.
out.
Chinese
Yeah,
history, man.
it's the way it is. So it's happening again. Foreigners are becoming the target of hate and problems, and so it's becoming dangerous to be a foreigner here in
It
China.
is. Absolutely.
And that's not some tinfoil hat nonsense. That's, you know, very clearly looking around at what's going on and seeing how this country has changed in such a short time towards us.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's really what's happening, guys. Foreigners are being targeted, and it's not comfortable right now. If you're planning to come and do a stint in China, keep it short. Don't expect...
Again, I don't think anyone will run into any issues, but like in our
Yeah.
situation, it's not safe to do what we're doing.
Yes. I mean, the thing is, if you're coming here, I wouldn't say come and plan to live here for 10, 11 years.
No.
But you know, if you're going to do a gap year, it'll be a fun thing.
You'll have fun.
If the shit hits the fan, you can always leave.
You could just peace out.
Yeah, but if you get established like we have with families and all this, you know, you can, yeah, it's just a bad
Well,
idea.
welcome to the nightmare.
Yeah, exactly. You're never going to be welcome here, and
No.
you're always going to be the target of some kind of ridicule or some
Yeah.
kind of thing.
For sure.
So yeah, we'll keep you updated. Like I said, this video is only going to go out when we're on the trip.
yeah.
And as the main trip planner, I am fully expecting trouble along the way.
For sure. Guaranteed.
You know, a friend of ours was arrested in Beijing a short time ago for filming in public
yeah.
because they thought he was part of a foreign TV crew.
Yeah.
But he was just interviewing random people on the street. They arrested him, took him back to his apartment.
Just an
checked his-
innocent little video.
Yeah. You know, checked his passport and everything, you know, and that was pretty bad. You're arrested by the police just for
Yeah.
filming in public. So, you know, this is it's not hearsay, it's not tinfoil hat, it's actually happening.
Right.
So, this isn't a positive video. I'm not going to pretend that it is.
Nope.
So let's just end it. Yeah. Is there anything that you would like to say before we end this negative video?
Oh boy, it's tough, isn't it? Well, whether you you support us and you wish the best for us or not, you know, leaving a like down there, leaving a comment, maybe subscribing to the channel, keeping abreast of the situation would really help us out. I'd really appreciate it.
Yeah. And I'm going to say that we're going to get this thing edited and it'll be on a timed release. So,
Yeah.
you know, you never know where we're going to be. We're going to be on this, we're currently on this trip right now.
Could be North Korea.
We could be detained at the moment. We could be in trouble. We could be deported. But, you know, just keep an eye on our Facebooks and our other things.
Please do keep track of us.
You certainly won't see military secret posts on my Facebook, but you will see, you know, what's happening with us anyway.
Yeah.
Right. So until next time, it's something that I've having to force myself to be for a long time now under these circumstances. Just stay awesome, because that's what I'm having to do. This is how we're getting through this. Yeah. See you next time, guys.